Look at this car. It looks like it came from 2050, right? But it was built in 1962. It had 6 wheels, a futuristic digital dashboard, and Ford even designed it to potentially run on nuclear power. But here's the real question. If Ford had built a car this futuristic more than 60 years ago, why did it disappear from history? The answer takes us back to the 1962 Seattle World's Fair, where people from around the world came to see the technology and inventions of the future. At that time, America was obsessed with the future. The space race was at its peak, and NASA was preparing to send humans to the moon. While the entire world was looking towards space, Ford unveiled this car to the world. And when people saw it, they were amazed. Its futuristic design looked like it wasn't from 1962, but had come straight from the future. It looked almost like an alien spaceship. It was around 18.5 feet long, and its sleek, futuristic design was completely different from every other car of that era. It had 6 wheels. But why? Because Ford believed this unusual setup could provide greater stability at high speeds. At the time, this idea seemed almost impossible. But years later, Formula One also experimented with a similar 6-wheel concept. But what truly made this car special wasn't its 6 wheels, it was the interior. Because inside, there wasn't even a steering wheel. Instead, it featured a digital dashboard at a time when GPS didn't even exist. This was a digital travel computer that could display navigation, weather, traffic, and vehicle information on a single electronic screen. Remember, we are talking about 1962. Back then, imagining technology like this was almost impossible. But today, similar technology is used in modern vehicles from companies like Tesla and BMW. The crazy thing is, the front section of this car could be completely separated, allowing the driver to change the power unit according to their needs. For everyday city driving, a 60-horsepower engine could be used, while a 400-horsepower unit could be installed for long-distance travel. But what I'm about to tell you next might shock you. Ford believed that one day, this car could run on nuclear energy, allowing it to travel thousands of miles without ever needing to refuel. The idea sounded unbelievable, but then reality caught up. To make a nuclear reactor safe, it required so much radiation shielding that fitting it into a practical car became almost impossible, and the idea never reached the road. But if this car was so advanced, then why did Ford never bring it to the streets? Because the world simply wasn't ready for this technology yet. Computers at that time were so large that they required entire rooms. Digital displays were still in their earliest stages. GPS didn't even exist. And the electronics needed to build a car like this were so expensive that making it practical was almost impossible. And now comes the part that very few people know. The Seattle-ite XXI was not a full-size, fully drivable production car. The version displayed at the Seattle World's Fair was a detailed 3/8 scale concept model. Ford created this model to show what future cars could look like. Although this car was only a concept vehicle, many of the ideas it introduced later appeared in modern vehicles. Things like digital dashboards, navigation systems, and advanced driver assistance technologies that are common today. But in 1962, Ford had already imagined many of these ideas through the Seattle-ite XXI. That is why the Seattle-ite XXI is still considered one of the most forward-thinking concept cars of the 1960s, proving that sometimes a concept car can be decades ahead of its time. So, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe, and don't forget to click on the recommended video on your screen to explore the incredible story of the 2027 Chevrolet Bel Air, a legendary classic reborn with modern muscle power.